let's talk about something that genuinely blew my mind. Right now, in Tampa, Florida, something remarkable is happening. A woman named Celine drove all the way from South Carolina. She never took a single Korean language class in her life. And yet, inside a packed stadium, she's singing along to a 500-year-old Korean folk song called Arirang. She studied the meaning on YouTube before she came. When a reporter asked her about it, she said, "I've never formally learned Korean, but I know BTS is singing about something universal: love, longing, connection. To me, Korean is the language of love and belonging." April 25th, 26th, and 28th. Raymond James Stadium, Tampa, Florida. Capacity 75,000 people. Sold out. All 3 nights. Tens of thousands of Americans singing in Korean. Arirang, arirang, arario. A song over 500 years old. So what is this song? Why does it move people who've never even been to Korea? And why did the biggest pop group on the planet name their comeback album after it? When you first hear the word Arirang, what do you feel? If you're Korean, there's probably a warmth in your chest. Something familiar? Something like home. But non-Koreans who hear it for the first time usually say, "It's beautiful, but also kind of sad." I don't know what it means, but I want to keep listening. First, the scale of what's happening with this BTS tour. She's 3 countries, 34 cities, over 82 shows. Every North American and European date. 41 shows sold out the moment tickets went on sale. In London, Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, 120,000 seats, 1 concert event. Sold out. Billboard projects totaled tour revenue at around $1 billion. And then this happened. The president of Mexico, Claudia Sheinbaum, sent an official diplomatic letter to the president of South Korea, asking that BTS add more Mexico tour dates. A sitting head of state, a diplomatic letter, about a pop concert. That is the reality of the Arirang World Tour. So why is it called Arirang? When the name was announced, Western fans were genuinely confused. Why would the world's biggest pop group name their comeback after an ancient Korean folk song? If you thought Arirang was just some dusty museum piece, you've been missing one of the most powerful emotional forces in human culture. Here's the first thing you need to understand. Arirang is not a song. Arirang is a platform. According to UNESCO, there are approximately 60 variations and over 3,600 individual versions of Arirang. There's the Jongseon Arirang from the mountains of Gangwon Province, the Jindo Arirang from the coast, the Miryang Arirang from the south, Korean independence fighters marching through Manchuria during Japanese occupation. They sang Arirang. Korean immigrants forcibly relocated to Kazakhstan by Stalin in the 1930s. They sang Arirang in a foreign land. The song traveled with the people, across mountains, oceans, and generations. Because here's what makes Arirang. Unlike almost any other folk song in the world, there are no rules. Anyone can sing it. You can change the lyrics. You can add your own verse. Sing it when you're happy, heartbroken, furious, or in love. As long as that chorus appears, Arirang, Arirang, Arario, it's Arirang. In 1896, American missionary Homer Hulbert created the first musical notation of Arirang. He wrote, "Arirang is to Koreans what rice is to their meals, heard everywhere at any time." UNESCO recognized this in December 2012, officially inscribing Arirang on the Intangible Cultural Heritage of Humanity list. The reason Arirang transcends generations and regions. Its open chorus structure allows anyone to participate in its creation. In 2014, North Korea's Arirang was separately inscribed on the same UNESCO list. North and South Korea have been divided for over 70 years. They disagree on almost everything, but they both still sing Arirang. Same song, same name. 2 sides of one of the most fortified borders on Earth. Now here's the part that surprises American audiences the most. Let me translate the most famous Arirang verse. "The one who abandoned me shall not walk 10 steps before their feet give out." When Americans hear that for the first time, the reaction is, wait, is that a curse? Kind of, yeah. The person you loved left you. And your response is to wish they get a foot cramp before they even get far. And Koreans cry to this. Or they smile. Sometimes both at the same time. This is what Koreans call Han. Han doesn't translate perfectly into English. It's not sadness. It's not anger. It's not giving up. It's the art of taking overwhelming pain and transforming it into something you can live with. You don't scream. You don't break things. You sing. You turn your suffering into poetry. Your poetry into song, and your song into something the whole community shares. It's a coping mechanism built into the foundation of Korean culture. And Arirang is its purest expression. During the March 1st movement of 1919, Korea's declaration of independence, Arirang was in the streets. In 1926, filmmaker Na Woon-gyu released a movie called Arirang under Japanese occupation. On the surface, a melodrama. But audiences understood the real message: we are still here. We are still us. When people walked out of that theater, they were humming Arirang. That was resistance, delivered as a song. Now BTS. Here's something most people don't know. BTS did not come up with the Arirang album name. It was Bang Si-hyuk, HYBE's founder, who first suggested it. When the members heard it, they were caught off guard. Some were genuinely worried it might come across as too nationalistic, too on the nose for a global audience. But after long conversations, they embraced it. RM explained why in one of the most honest interviews I've ever heard. From a K-pop artist, when we all came back together, we asked, what does it mean to be us? All 7 of us are Korean. We wanted to put something in this album that reflected where we actually came from. Arirang holds everything: joy, grief, longing, humor. While I was in the military, I missed everything. Society, army, the members, our past. Arirang holds all of that. J-Hope added, Arirang feels like the most honest version of us. It's our roots. 500 years ago, a nameless Korean farmer walked over a mountain pass singing Arirang. In 2026, 7 Korean men performed it on the steps of Gwanghwamun, Korea's most historic public space. Same song, same longing, 5 centuries apart. The comeback show, March 21st, 2026. Gwanghwamun Square, Seoul. Drones swept over Gyeongbokgung Palace as 50 dancers parted to reveal BTS. 190 countries watched live on Netflix. 100,000 people stood in Gwanghwamun Square. The opening song started with driving electronic beats. Then slowly the music softened. An acoustic melody emerged. And then Arirang, live performers from the National Guguk Center, sang on the ancient Voldae platform. Traditional Korean percussion filled the square. The palace walls were painted in Korean ink. Wash art via a massive media projection. 100,000 people sang Arirang together. First time ever for a K-pop concert at Gwanghwamun. The tour continued. Tokyo Dome delivered a perfect Arirang sing-along. Tampa delivered 3 sold-out nights with traditional Korean court music, Hahotal mass choreography, and 360-degree stages, inspired by Royal Pavilion architecture. Billboard wrote, they are torchbearers carrying Korean culture to the world. Local economists estimated the 3 Tampa shows generated between $800 million and $900 million in regional economic impact. Arirang was always meant to be sung together. The open chorus is a built-in invitation. You don't need to speak Korean. You don't need to know the history. You just need to be human. Because the feelings inside Arirang, longing, loss, the desire to belong, those aren't Korean feelings. Those are human feelings. That's why Celine from South Carolina was singing Jindo Arirang in Tampa. That's why Tokyo Dome did a perfect Korean sing-along. BTS understood something with this album. K-culture is not an export. It's an invitation. Come add your verse. Last thought. The reason K-pop connects globally is the same reason Arirang has survived for 5 centuries. Language doesn't matter. The feeling does. You hear it. You feel it. You make it your own. A nameless farmer singing on a Korean mountain pass in the 1500s. And a girl from South Carolina singing the same melody in a Tampa stadium in 2026. Arirang isn't finished. It's still being written. Subscribe, like, and hit the bell. And drop a comment. If you had to explain Arirang to a friend in 1 sentence, what would you say? I want to read every single one. See you on the other side of the Arirang Pass.